I actually think that in the conversations on the Hill, what I've heard from those who are actually listening to arguments
Which would be how many, sir?
Well, which is, I think, enough for this to be sustained, is both a deepening understanding of the importance of the provisions of the nuclear agreement in terms of shutting down Iran's pathways to getting a nuclear weapon, in terms of pushing back on some of the myths that have developed. For example, there's a myth out there that there's a signing bonus. There is no signing bonus. There is only sanctions relief to Iran at the point when Iran shuts down the 4 pathways to a nuclear weapon. I think there's a deeper understanding of that. Third, in terms of my area on sanctions, I think on the Hill there's a deepening understanding of what the magnitude of the sanctions relief means. And let me give you an example. There is a lot of discussion out there that Iran is going to somehow get $150 billion as soon as sanctions are lifted. That is incorrect. And I think on the Hill there's a deepening understanding, based on the conversations we've had in the detailed briefings, that Iran does not have $150 billion to get. The highest number is in 100 plus a little bit. Now, they cannot get all of the money that they have locked up overseas because a lot of it is already committed. So when you walk down in terms of what is accessible and what is inaccessible, they only have about $55 billion of assets overseas that are even theoretically assets that they can get access to. And they cannot bring all that money home and spend it for either good or bad purposes. They need to keep reserves in order to be able to finance their international trade, and they've got enormous competing demands for whatever money they have to spend. Our best estimate of what the domestic demands are for pent-up demand for investment in Iran is well over $500 billion. Just to get their oil and gas industry back into the kind of production shape that they need it to be in, they need $100 to $200 billion of investment in their oil and gas sector. They have unpaid wages. They have enormous infrastructure needs. Now, I have never argued that that a penny can't be put to malign purpose, but I think we have made a lot of progress in educating members that this is not going to change the shape of Iran's resources for good or bad purposes.